Welcome to the Crusader. It's been a long time coming, yo. But I'm here now.
2, 1.
What's going on? What's going on, mate? How are we? You like my giant tampon?
That's so sick. You get a wrap like this, or?
Well, I went to go get a satin black, and then Lockie and the boys went down the next day and like, oh, we have a change of plans.
So they switched it up on you?
Completely switched it up on me, dogs.
So you didn't even know?
No. I was going satin black, fully blacked out details. You know, I don't mind the pinks. The pink's not that fucking shitty. It's just the stickers, like.
It's the flowers that get me, eh?
Yeah.
The flower power stickers that get me.
Fuck it.
Oh well. YOLO.
We're all for a good laugh, innit?
Let's go do some patties, bro.
Just gotta get put in some pain.
All right, guys. Today's special guest, one of my mates, homie, who's let me have a lot of time to get this back piece done and out of the way. Started off as a cover up. We got Jackson, Australia's most infamous prankster, party boy, now on the international stage, getting himself around the globe. Jackson O'Doherty in the house, Phresh Inc. What's up?
What's fucking going on, everyone?
Good to have you in here, bro. It's good to finally get this back piece finished, man. I know it's been like...
Nah, slow and steady wins the race sometimes, mate.
Yeah, bro. Nah, I know you've been patient with me, so...
We're both busy dudes, so I know how it is.
What's on the cards, bro? What's on the cards? What's new?
Fucking, there's been a lot going on, man. You know, like when you're so busy and flat out working on a million things, it's like you're trying to stop and think for a minute, you're like, what the fuck am I actually doing?
Yeah.
It's been like that for a bit, man. Just working on like a couple of business, company things outside of social media, just, real world business shit, just stuff that I can set up now and lay the foundations for the next couple of years.
This being one of them?
This is one of them, baby. Focus caffeinated chewing gum, 80 milligrams per piece.
Coffee in your gum. So I'm going to give this a try today, so you're going to get some honest feedback.
It's a liquid core. It's a core center of like a liquid. It's got a caffeine, it's ice mint. We'll have 2 other flavors by the end of the year. It's going in Ampol in Queensland and New South Wales in about a week. Not all of them, probably about half of them to start with.
Yep.
Woolworths will be doing a trial towards the end of the year, so it's been a slow grind. It's been a lot of time, just tedious things, the stuff that I don't technically enjoy a lot, but I mean, it's just, you got
must do when it comes to business, eh?
That's it, bro. Yeah, it's just set a few of these things up, man. So if the day comes where I try to back off social media and the videos and whatnot, then I've got things in the background that are chipping away, So working on that. But it's been still doing a lot of rehab work with my backs and surgery and.
Yeah, true. Since I last seen you, you've had your backs. Oh, not since I've seen you, but since we had our last session, you had your full back surgery. Tell me about that,
That's what this beautiful little scar down here is for.
Oosh.
I tell everyone I got attacked by a shark defending 7 children. But...
Well, we'll cut this part out. So your story can live on, but tell me actually what happened. Tell me what's the go there.
With the back, bro, I played rugby league about 8 or 9 years and rugby union about 3 or 4 years. And my back was good while I was playing, and then once it stopped, it started getting a bit weird and just hurting myself for stunts and, my videos, doing jackass style shit back in the day, and just poor lifestyle. And I'm very one of those people where I'm like, I'll ignore injuries and damage for a very long time just to focus on other shit, and just bad degeneration in my discs. I had 3 prolapsed discs, 2 were herniating, and it was just a nightmare even just doing day-to-day tasks. I couldn't sleep, was hurting so much just to walk, sitting down was in pain, like... You know what chronic pain's like, I mean, just always tired.
Yeah, man, I actually had before I started MMA, my back was just, I had non-stop issues.
Yeah.
Like most tattooers do, man, we just...
Lower?
What's that?
Like lower back issues?
Lower back issues, yeah, man.
Fucking horrible, man.
Just tattooers, man, we just we don't take care of ourselves.
Nah. A lot of us don't, man. When you're kind of a driven person and you're trying to achieve bigger things and hustle, it's like... Being in a bit of pain's kind of at the very bottom of your priority.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm going to have to deal with that one.
Yeah, but it got to the point where it was just crippling me a bit and I was unable to focus on work and couldn't really film a lot because I was always in so much pain. I couldn't just keep taking painkillers every day. So it's just one of those things, man, So
is that out the way? Have you found that the surgery was a success?
I'd say it was like a 50% success. It's a long journey, man. I did it October last year. I had a triple disc replacement, so they took 3 discs out, put... 3 titanium discs in the bottom, very bottom of my spine.
Yep.
You know, I couldn't walk for a bit after that. They said 12 months, probably until I could do things like boxing and stuff. Because obviously I've been pretty interested in the idea of getting in the ring and doing it. Even if it's one and done, bro, I don't care. Just get in and have a crack. And
you've been since we've met. You've always been interested in having a fight for yourself. So
I definitely want to do it, and I'm like 100% sure I will. I'll go in there fucked if I have to, just to get it done, just to be a man of my word. But it's just with the lower back, man, and how I am. I don't want to, because I'm still only 28, bro. I don't want to risk doing something out of rushing into something like, because I'm not going to be doing this boxing thing for money or any type of clout or anything. It's just more of a personal thing that I want to do, get in, commit to it.
But obviously, knowing you, a lot of people are going to want to tune in, a lot of people are going to watch that, and you're a businessman, no? You probably will you'll work that into a
there's definitely
an account too.
There's definitely money to be made, you know, in that YouTube-y crossover boxing scene. I know it's a very controversial field for people. A lot of real fighters and true, you know, high-level pros don't like it. Some absolutely love it.
I love it. I think it adds to the sport. I think it's great. I think anyone that's out there bringing eyes to the sport brings more money into the sport. Everyone should be happy with that.
Yeah, I don't see the huge problem with it. It's like, you know, a lot of the pro fighters are like, oh, I don't want to see them doing it. I think, like, what kind of message does that give to kids, you know? Like, what if someone wants to just make a career change? What if someone wants to actually pursue it? Just because they've made videos on the internet doesn't mean they're not allowed to start doing, you know, fighting or training.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think there's just some people that give it a bad rep and give it a bad name, but I mean, it's the same as everything. It's like, it comes down to a lot of the, I think what it is the money differences, and that's understandable when there's a pro who's been training their whole life, blood, sweat and tears, you know, they might be making 10K a fight here and there, or 5K even, or whatever, and you get a YouTuber who's barely even trained, steps in and makes a couple hundred G's, and that's definitely would be frustrating. You know, people are like, oh, well, I've worked harder, and I'm like, well, work harder, work smarter as well. Like, if you're not using social media to promote yourself, the social media has been, you know, the last 5-6 years and currently and in the future, social media is massive. You need to promote yourself.
It's exactly that, bro.
Become a prize fighter, you know? Like, it's not about going out and being desperate for views.
It's like anything, man, you know? People who get dirty on other people's success are the people who are, like, just not willing to put that work in themselves, man, you know? Like, we've seen it over and over again.
So a lot of the pro fighters will happily use YouTube, you know what I mean? They'll make their own YouTube videos and stuff. You don't see YouTubers hating on them. It's like, but I mean, I just think everyone just needs to focus on themselves a bit more and just let people do what they want to do, and everybody wins. And there's enough room in this world for everyone to win and to succeed and be happy. And you know, you look at Volk and Izzy, just with old Logan and all that out there, signed them to their, what do you call it, to their prime. And training with them and shit. Like, and you see, that's 2 of the most dominant high-level champions currently in the world. They're accepting of it, and they support them for all that shit. So, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
I just think with the lower back issue, when you can't, you know, slap and dip and fucking dodge and dive and, you know, twist and turn really well with your lower back, I don't want to just rush into the ring and not be able to perform, because I'm very OCD and like...
You're a perfectionist.
I want to actually look good, bro. I don't want to go out there and just swing for the fences, get knocked out or knock somebody out and be like, yes, there's some money. I want to...
You take it serious. Like, as long as I've known you've been like an actual fight fan, like you've actually, you and I will message like, oh, who do you think's gonna win this? Or that fight was fucking hectic, or, you know, rah, rah, rah. You're genuinely passionate about the sport, which is, you know, I respect it a lot. And then, you know, seeing that, and I know that you're a perfectionist too, in a sense of like, I've seen how you do your parties, I've seen how you've planned your social media, I've seen how you've done a lot of stuff there. Seeing that, you know, I see that you wouldn't want to just go in there and do some half-assed job.
You know, I think for me, bro, it's like, if I had like a broken finger or a broken toe or a sore fucking knee or something, like, I'll get in there, you know what I mean? If I get food poisoning or if I'm a bit sick the day before, cool, I'll get in and still have a crack. But with the lower back, man, it can limit your training a lot.
Yeah.
As you probably know anyway,
I noticed it, man. Yeah, I did, and like...
But I'm getting better, man. Like, I reckon I'm just about at the point where I could probably commit to a camp. It's just, you especially of all people, and other pro fighters would know, man, it's, for me, bro, it's like, if I say yes to a camp, I don't want to be running around making videos or doing parties or hanging out with girls or sidetracked on little trips or anything. It's like every single day for 10 to 12 weeks is going to be training, diet, sleep. That's it. I don't want to have anything else going on. So for me currently to find that kind of time, it's just really hard to find that amount of time to dedicate to it. So I'm just not putting a date on it. Like, my personal goal would be by the end of this year. Whether it's November or December. I talked to, KSI's manager. His name's Mams Taylor. They're running that Misfits boxing promotion, and they've been really keen to get me involved. They're actually, they love a lot of the content I do, and they want to get me involved. I don't know who they're offering the fight, I don't give a shit, but...
Well, I mean, the fact that there's interest there, there's offers there, you know, and I'm sure it'd be like, that's it. That's what you're saying, you know? You don't want to just get in there and fucking
I want to look
half-ass
decent,
it.
man.
If you're going to, especially something like that, there's a lot of people are going to be watching. You want to fucking perform well, man.
Well, that's another thing that I think a lot of the really big pro fighters, mainly the ones that, you know, dislike the YouTube guys or the social media getting involved, you got to remember, like, not that it doesn't matter as much to pro fighters, but I think, you know, you put someone like Jake Paul into a ring who's got 20 odd million followers versus a pro fighter who has like 2,000 followers, and you know, if Jake Paul gets slapped, he's got 20 million people going to make fun of him, make memes of him for years. You've got a lot more people that are going to give you shit, so you've got to deal with a lot more.
Well, you put a lot.
You have it rubbed in for a very long time.
They don't look at it like, not a lot of people are looking at it.
Whereas if it's just your family and friends knowing you're just trying to chase a journey, if you take an L, whatever, you know, take your losses, get better and keep going. But I mean, with stuff like that, there is that added sense of pressure of like, fuck, I've got a lot of people watching and it'll hurt my stock if I take an L, you know, it's like... And you got to but that's the thing, man. It's like, I just want to do it right. Because I played a lot of different sports my whole life and been very competitive my whole life. I'm a huge fan, like you said, of combat sports, boxing, MMA. I've watched a lot of it my whole life since I was young. So I don't want to disrespect it, go out there and just be a clown and just fucking take the piss and not do it properly. I want to learn and get in there and actually look half decent in the process. So I'm just not rushing the process at the moment, man. I'm still young enough, and once I'm able, then boom, commit to it and fucking have a crack.
Oh, it's good, man. I'm stoked, bro. I'm interested. I'm keen to see that happen, bro.
Well, I've got a lot of good people around me too, man. You know, a lot of my mates are fighters too, so it's good to just have those kinds of friends around and take pointers from them, take any advice, take any help, even do some workouts with them and shit. So
oh man, like I gave up my day job literally to do this, man. You know, I have absolutely no reason to have to do this. You know, like I'm doing it out of choice, and it's one of those things that. Once you have a crack at it, you'll like, and you get in there and you do what you set yourself out to, win or lose, going through the process, keeping yourself fit. Like you're probably like me, man. Like if I don't have a purpose, like if I don't have a fight camp in things, or I don't have like something that I'm like setting myself up to do, I just get distracted and just get useless with my time. Like if I'm purposeful.
It's easy to happen too, man.
Like if you've got a bit of money and like too much money and too much time. And especially being young like we are and living on the Gold Coast, it's easy to just get yourself in trouble, bro, you know?
When you're around all your childhood mates and there's a lot going on, there's always a reason to fucking... There's always some type of temptation.
There's always something on, man, you know? And it's like...
Especially with the circles people like ourselves have got, you know, you're mates with a whole bunch of the boys at the UFC and a bunch of other fighters and all these things. There's always events on, there's always reasons that you could be out socialising, having a beer, doing this, doing that.
Celebrating the not so big wins, you know?
Exactly, man.
So now it's given me purpose in that sense where it's like, you know, like, oh, now I'm doing something productive with my time and, you know, I'm enjoying the process along the way, and each time it makes me a better person, and like, that's my drive
for it. That's all about, man.
That's my drive for it. Sick.
Fuck yeah. No, I'm excited to see you back in there, man.
Cheers, bro.
When was your last fight? It wasn't this year, was it?
Yeah, it was this year.
Was this year?
I think it was at the start. So it's like, by the time I get in September, it'll have been 9 months. I worked that out the other day. Like, how long is it going to be since, you know, I've been out and since been in? It's going to have been 9 months, which is a long time to be out, bro. I didn't want it to be like that, but it's just the way it's
just how
works
life
out
goes sometimes, man.
Yeah, bro. So when did we actually start your back? How long ago was it?
It's probably been about a year.
Good year, eh?
Yeah, probably.
It's been a bit of time.
Probably been at least a year by now, I'd say.
Yeah, thanks for being patient with me, bro.
Oh, bro, that's all good, man. I understand of all people, even me, bro. I've been overseas half the time.
Yeah. There's always a bit like, oh, are you free? Nah, I'm not free. Are you free? Nah, I'm not free. It's like, oh, all right. We'll get there
it's
one
hard
day.
to get like...
Fuck, Dan Hooker on his first day, man, was an absolute weapon.
Yeah, bro, those dudes are all built different. I'm a fucking pussy competitor.
You're probably the softest cunt I've tattooed. In saying that, I've only ever tattooed professional fighters or UFC fighters. So that's no disrespect.
No offense taken. No offense taken. Everyone's got their things, you know. It's like I've met a bunch of people who will happily get in the ring and break each other's faces, but then they wouldn't do half the shit up in their videos, you know. It's like,
yeah, man.
Everyone's different with what they're down to do.
Have you found that like people have tried to sort of, I wouldn't say steal your thunder, but like a lot of people are trying to jump on the bandwagon of like doing the pranks and doing the stuff that you did?
Yeah, I mean,
done for a while.
It's always going to happen, man. It's always been like that, even in whether it's music or fucking making videos, even just. Has
anyone done it that's shitted you off? Like that's been like just a shit cunt about it, or?
Not that I can think of, man. I know, like, I just try to not let let my emotions get the better of me when shit like that happens. If someone copies what I do or tries to do something similar or rips an idea or whatever it might be, I'm just like, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's just fucking take it as a compliment sometimes.
I see a lot of it in the tattoo industry, like people like rip our ideas or do shit that I've done or like just copy my marketing strategies and stuff, and like
it's frustrating.
It gets frustrating, but at the same time you're like, oh well, they're always a step behind, you know?
That's the thing, man. It's like the problem with people trying to copy or replicate other people is that they're always going to be a step behind.
That's how I look at it.
You know, it's you know, they're probably copying because you're doing the right thing, you know what I mean? It's like no one's going to copy someone that's doing a shit job.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you know, a lot of the stuff I do is very subjective, you know, maybe half the people fucking can't stand the shit I do, then half the people absolutely love it, and, you know, I'm okay with that, man. It's like, it's impossible to please everyone.
Yeah.
All that matters is I enjoy what I do, my family and friends support me and love me, so I fucking couldn't care less about the mass crowds, you know?
Yeah. So for the people, like my viewers that may not know, I'm sure there's very little, but you started off just doing pranks, on Facebook, I think. I think Facebook was when I first seen, it would have been you and Shami originally, just started off together. Yeah,
we started back in the day, man. I was doing videos like solo by myself, probably 2011, 2012. We've gone back a while.
Yeah.
Probably 11, 12 years ago, just on my personal Facebook, not trying to really make anything of it. I actually did videos and posted to my MySpace account back in the day.
MySpace?
Yeah, when I was real young.
No way.
Yeah, I grew up watching Jackass, Viva La Bam, you know, all that sort of shit, and I didn't really care about making any money from it or even trying to become, you know, famous in any extent. I was just like, I just want to fucking be a
You just want to be a funny cunt, eh?
And me and my mates used to go down hills in trolleys, like massive hills on the concrete, and smash each other up and jump off cliffs into the salt bush and just do, you know, we used to like do fucking paper cuts in school.
Man. I remember when Jackass came out, I was the same, man. Me and my brothers were I lived in Parkwood Boulevard, and there was a big park there, and we were just in the park, just like lighting fires, and just being crazy cunts, and just like so inspired by it.
Yeah, so like I grew up on.
Don't try this at home. Of course I'm going to try this at home. Don't try this at home.
You should say go and try it at home. It'll probably make people not do it.
Yeah.
I see don't try this as like go and do it.
That's how I seen it. That's what we were the same. I'm like, all right.
So
you can't tell me what not to do.
I started doing videos by myself, just doing some dumb shit here and there, man. And then a few years into doing it, maybe 4 years into making videos, Shami and I kind of stumbled across each other, and we started doing pranks. Like just, you know, we stayed together for a couple of weeks here and there, and we just fucking gave each other the green light. We're like, whatever you want to do, go ahead. Whatever I want to do, go ahead. Let's catch each other off guard as much as we possibly can, and just fucking ruin each other's lives. And you know, it's
it really blew up, eh?
It took off for sure, man. And you know, then unfortunately, when things start to work, it can go one of two ways. It can fucking make or break something, or it can make it better. And you know, when money or business or things get involved, it gets awkward, it gets complicated, and
a lot of people will try their true colours sometimes.
Yeah, it shows people's true colours, and it's unfortunate the way things went, you know, but it is what it is. I wish.
So you and Shami had a fallout then?
Yeah, we're not like mates anymore. I'm still mates with his brothers. I'm still mates with all the boys that have worked for him. You know, like I invited all of his brothers and his mates and everyone to even my parties, and they all came along. I've always been cool with everyone. I don't wish anything bad upon him or anybody. Just because it didn't work out doesn't mean we've got to be complete enemies and fucking live life filled with grudges. But I just can't respect and work with people that do specific things, man. And it is what it is.
I can tell you're being good cunt by trying to hold your character, but obviously there's a bit of something there.
But that's why, you know, I wanted more, bro. I always try to put myself in more uncomfortable situations where I can grow, you know, like, you know, we kind of blew up pretty quickly here on the internet when we started doing stuff, and, you know, you can stay here and be a big fish in a small pond, or you can get out of here and go be a small fish in a big pond again. And I got overseas. I went and lived in the UK for about a year, collabed and kept growing, kept grinding, kept building my shit.
What was that fella's name from the UK that does the pranks you did somewhere?
Oh, Kristen Hamby.
He's funny too.
I love him, bro. He's one of the nicest, most loyal friends I've ever met, and he's just we never even came close to having a disagreement or an argument. We actually did a lot better, you know. Like me and Shami's stuff was obviously really massively viral on Facebook and YouTube, but me and my friend Kristen did a lot better because we actually went out to the States and spent, you know, 4 or 5 months in LA collabing with people like the Nelk Boys, Bradley Martin, You know, David Dobrik, fucking Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I went on Logan's podcast, collabed at Jake Paul's house, and
Is Bradley Martin the one saying that he's he the one that wants to fight? He had Nate on their thing and said he wanted.
He did the same with Devin Haney. He's like, I'd fuck you up in a street fight.
Does he actually think that?
I don't know. I do believe he would think that. Yeah.
Do you think he would?
No, I don't think he would. This is.
I was a bit like, bruh, what are you doing?
This is my honest thoughts. Like, so me and Bradley know each other. We follow each other. I've met him chat here and there, and he's always been really cool with me. So I don't think personally bad to say about Bradley, but my honest, unbiased thoughts are someone like Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Who's not a really big guy. I think and this is a massive if Bradley was to get a hold of him and get him to the ground or something, then he might be in a lot of trouble. But I mean, bro, like.
But even then, man, like, what wrestling experience, what grappling experience does he have? Because getting someone to the ground's one part of the puzzle. Doing something with him when you got him there I think the rest of it, you know?
I think Devin Haney would absolutely chin him.
Absolutely, bro.
And I think Nate Diaz would either fucking strangle him or snap a limb or...
I think people just get misconstrued by that they're big.
Oh yeah, well a lot of bodybuilders, they just think, because they can bench press 150 kilo that they can have a punch on and win. It's like,
yeah, not really.
Look at Gennady Golovkin, fights at what, like 66, 70 kilo, and he looks like a bit of a nerdy fella, and you wouldn't want to punch on with Golovkin.
Yeah. Well, what about you and Shami? Have you thought about doing that for a fight? That could be an interesting one.
So I put on my Instagram story maybe 2 to 3 years ago, a thing said, yo, let's settle it, let's have a fight, we can donate proceedings to charity, blah, blah, blah. And I had a story up and he didn't like it. And he was like telling people, go around to his house, tell him he needs to delete it, blah, blah, blah. He's bullying me. And I was like, relax.
So he's a bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Without you saying, I'll say Shami's a bitch.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. And I mean,
he does pranks. He should just be down for a punch on him. I mean, if there's some money to be made, isn't that your industry? You're going to get hurt anyway.
It would be a big fight too, man.
In a sanctioned bout.
It would be a solid fight. Like, it would probably sell pretty well just because of our names and what we've done together, you know?
Let's make an official call out. Shami, you bitch.
Hey, get ready for a cease and assist from his lawyer.
Who cares, man? Shami, we want to see you fight, bruh. Jump in the ring,
son.
Have a crack, make some money, give some people some entertainment. You're an entertainer, you know what's about.
And I ended up, I didn't delete shit, even if people were going to come to my house, I wasn't going to delete it, I'd rather,
hell no.
Fuck that, but like, I think like for me too, man, I didn't want to look too like beggy. I didn't want to like constantly call him out and like keep it going. If he's not interested, he's not interested. I'll do it a couple of times. If I don't get a bite, if the bait don't work, then call onwards and upwards.
Call it a day, yeah.
It's better, it's more beneficial for him than it is for me, but I think like, because I've been able to, as arrogant as it sounds, I've been able to go overseas and capture a good overseas market as well.
Yep.
Where he's not really traveled or collabed with people out there and done much. But like I said, man, I respect and appreciate my friendships with his brothers and the people that have worked for him and his friends and all the mutual friends we have. So I've kept things pretty civil and cool. There's no need for me to have constant shit. But like I said,
it's good, man. I'm glad. I think it's good just people can see the backside of you as well. Like, you know, like you and I, you know, good friends, and I get to see what you're like behind doing pranks and doing shit like that. You know, a lot of people probably think you're just this fucking constant prankster. I know that like you had, when you were living at your house in Helensvale, you had people just rock kids and shit, just rocking up your house and just thought that you just wanted to fucking do pranks all day, every day, and you're just like...
Yeah, it gets... That's why I steered away from it. That's why I tried to shift it. I shifted towards that lifestyle of the big parties, of traveling and doing cool shit and doing some other stuff for a while, some vlogging, and that's why I started my podcast, because I wanted to not just stick doing the same thing. I like to change it up and I like to try new things, and otherwise, like with my ADHD and as how I am, I can get a bit bored of things.
Yep.
So that's why I got into doing a lot of dare videos with that mate of mine, Kristen Hamby. Me and him would just dare each other to do crazy shit over in LA, and we ran and fucking muck out there, and people liked it, man. And you know, then I was lucky enough to get out there and go on, what's his name, Impulsive, and do a podcast and.
Logan's?
Yeah, Logan's podcast. Yeah, so I was pretty stoked with that. You know, me and my ex-missus, I lived out there with her for a year in LA and had a good crack over there, and it was a good fun time, and it is what it is. Yeah, I'd love to fucking...
Your ex-missus, is that the one you were doing at OnlyFans?
Yeah, that was the one, man. 2020, got in there, had a proper stint, went in. That's another thing, bro. It's like I was saying before, you know, anything that I do, it's either go hard or go home. It's like I won't do it, or I'm going to do it and just do my absolute everything. And went in, did it for about 8 or 9 months in 2020, just went as hard as I could with it, promoted it like crazy, had some smart marketing plans.
Yeah.
We made about 4 or 5 mil that year.
Fucking just a cheeky 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty good year, man. You know, like people are always like discrediting my hard work before. Like, oh, anybody can go and do OnlyFans. Or anyone. I'm like, well, anyone can do OnlyFans, but how are you going to make money? How are you going to sell it? Who's going to want to watch it? Like, you got to have these things. I spent 7 or 8 years building my social media platforms before it.
Yeah, and I think like, you know, on that OnlyFans topic, I think we're in a funny time, man. Like, you know, where people don't, it's like what you said, people don't see the back end and how much work goes into it, you know. I think about it a lot more as a father now, how hard it would be for father of a daughter to grow up and say, you know, I've got like, you know, your daughter gets to 16, 17 years old and she starts sharing pictures of herself online and she's making money and you're trying to tell her to live an honest life and, you know, do this and do that. And, you know, not to say there's anything wrong with girls pursuing that career, but if a girl who's 16 or 17 hasn't really had any life experience and doesn't know what she's want to do with herself, but she's a good looking girl and she sells her pictures on the internet, she's going to fall into that industry quickly, you know? 100%. And it's like, who is the parents to tell them not to do it when they're making thousands of dollars? And it's like, yeah, go and get a job, go and do this, go and do some university, blah, blah, blah.
100%.
Give yourself a HEX debt and then go and fucking be a nurse and make, you know, how much you're making in a day and a week or something. And it's like, it's a really hard sell.
It's a scary world at the moment, man. Like
it's a very scary world. I think about it a lot more, probably now because I'm a father, but
100%.
Yeah, it's,
well, even me, bro. It's like if I had a daughter, it's like as hypocritical as it might sound. It's like I wouldn't want my kids doing it.
No, I don't. I think that like, you know, and same again. I don't want to discredit like the girls that do it and the people that do it or anyone that's in that industry because I know that there's a lot of happy people. Like your friends who are married and they're both in that industry, and you know they're happy as Larry. I've seen them together as a couple, like you know, and they're doing really well in there.
Yeah, they have an amazing marriage. They're very healthy.
Jeremy and
Isabel. No, they're awesome, man. They're two of my closest friends up here. They're very, very caring and just loving people. They're very happy, very healthy, very down to earth. They don't. It's just a job to them. They don't look at it as anything different, you know.
But they fell into that industry later in life, you know, like probably a little bit later in life. Whereas young girls, they're going to fall into this industry
very early
from school and stuff, and you know, and it's really hard.
And it is getting more normalized.
It's getting more.
It's becoming a very common thing now, man. Like everyone's doing it. It also sounds hypocritical because like I would never date a girl that does OnlyFans again. And that doesn't mean that I have any issue with OnlyFans girls. Like I respect, get out there, hustle, make your money, do it. If you make it, if you're happy from it, do that. You know, I won't judge. I don't regret doing it, you know, at all. I made my decisions. I thought clearly about it. I went hard and I did what I did. But I think like I don't want to have that stuff. I want it to be a bit more like what's the word? Like exclusive for me only. You know what I mean? It's like in my future stuff.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, interesting times, man. Interesting times.
The one thing that was the funniest on those like little dark humor skits we were doing was like, because there was a Paul Walker joke in there.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't make fun of Paul Walker. That's too far. You don't make fun of that. And it's just at the moment, there's a 50-50 divide. Everyone's just fighting amongst themselves because when he was like 30-something, bro, he was dating a 16-year-old.
Who was?
Paul Walker.
Was he?
Yeah. And there's proof, like that's a fact. That's not me just throwing out a wild accusation. That's a fact. So like everyone in there's like, he was a fucking kiddie fiddler. He was a pedophile. He was a fucking.
You get all the people having some back and forth.
Yeah, everyone's like, you're defending a dead celebrity that one doesn't even know that you exist, and two, he was a fucking pedophile. So then you got other people saying the joke's too far. And then it's funny just watching people fight in the comments.
Yeah.
I just grab my popcorn, smoke a doobie, sit back, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, I found that when I was posting content before the boys were fighting from the tattoo talks, like snippets with Izzy and Volk and stuff like that. It was the same thing, like the big predictions and stuff like that, and just people just going in there and just like fucking giving their whole like life outlook in the comment section on these fucking things. And it's like, what the hell are you doing with your life, bro? How do you have enough time to sit here and like argue with a stranger? Like,
oh mate, that's what these people they've just got too much time. Like, the last thing I could be bothered to do is sit there and argue with people I don't know.
You know, like some people get upset with like, you know, some of the comments that even like, you know, say I take a loss on there for a fight. People will say, you know, oh fuck, I knew he's nothing, blah, blah, blah. He's just a street fight, he wasn't getting anywhere, blah, blah, blah. They might, you know, and a lot of them are fake profiles and people will get upset and they'll be like, Josh, you're gonna fucking say something? I'm like, these cunts are too scared to have their own opinion. Like, why the fuck do I care about what they say? You know what I mean? Like,
they're an immediate L of a person if they can't
even write it off their own profile, if they have to make a fucking fake profile.
Yeah, like if you comment hateful shit off either a private profile or off a fake profile, you just immediately an L, and I just find it like laughable.
Yeah. and that's kind of what that was our attitude. And I'm
So
like,
Mike Tyson says that social media made everyone too comfortable with just talking shit without copping a punch in the face for it.
yeah. Should we just leave these rolling then, Max? We're only going to be like half an hour. There. All right, Jackson. We are back.
Yeah, babe.
Took a little 5 breaker. I've got my gloves on. You're gonna have to feed me this chewy.
Oh, here we go.
I want to give it a crack, but you're gonna have to feed me a piece.
You the old focus caffeinated gun. I'm gonna get cracked out now.
Interested. I'm really interested to see how this goes.
And as always, I am never offended, so I want complete honesty. If it's
I'll give you
fucking
complete
vile,
honesty.
you can slap my face,
Okay.
spit in my eye. But it's not, it's really nice.
So there may not be spit in the eye.
So slap me too hard as I'll cry.
Oh, they're nice, decent pieces too.
Yeah, solid. Here comes the airplane.
Oh.
See, right?
All right. Ooh,
Bit of a burst, isn't it?
got a bit of a goo in there.
Yeah, it's like a little liquid core center.
Liquid core center. Okay. I was wondering how you got so much caffeine in this. They're big, they're decent sized. It's like a piece of Hubba Bubba.
Yeah, literally.
With the liquid in it. I'm pretty sensitive to supplements and shit at the moment because I'm like,
Really?
I've been in camp, so I'm
Yeah,
pretty
okay.
healthy, dieting, not taking drugs, not
You don't
taking.
feel it, man. It's good. It's not. The thing is, it's very clean. It's not like you're like. It's just
Yeah.
a nice pick me up kind of thing. I think a lot of the people that will benefit from it a lot will be people like truck drivers and tradies and stuff. Because I know a lot of tradies that drink a lot of dare iced coffee or drink fuckloads of Red Bulls, all the sugar and calories and all the other shit that's in it you don't know. This sugar free, vegan, fucking all the other cool stuff that everyone talks about, gluten, whatever that is. Extra gluten.
Extra gluten. I love it. So Jackson,
Yes, sir.
when I wrap these videos up, I normally ask my guests to give our viewers some sort of final words. It can be like some words of inspiration. It can be a big fuck you. It can be a shout out.
Would you like me to look at this camera or this camera? I could look at both with one eye each. This camera?
That would be ideal, the old double eye trick.
Alright, guys.
And just wrap this up with us, man. So
We're going to
the floor
wrap
is
up.
yours.
But let me firstly tell you before we wrap this up, never, if you are a man, never, under any circumstance, wrap up. It's better to not have sex than wrap up. Condoms were not designed for men. Condoms were designed for boys. Do not wear them. They are a waste of fucking time. They will take away all the feeling, all the pleasure. Let me tell you, I know this. I know this. I'm so fucking lonely. Alright? I know this. Anyways, a few words of inspiration if you're out there right now and if you're having a hard time in life, if you're struggling, if you're unsure of what to do with yourself, or if you're just battling a few things, I just want to let you know that you're probably ugly. So just sort that out. Now this has been a fucking lovely day. It's been good to catch up with the bro and the fucking other bro over here. We've been chilling, a few little painful moments, but for the most part it's been very good. Very stoked with how the tattoos come out. Phresh is by far my favourite tattoo studio, not only in Queensland, but in the whole entire fucking world. And Joshy boy over here is very talented with the old tattoo gun. Very stoked with how my back's turning out. And it's been a great experience all in all. We started this just over a year ago. It's been a pretty good time. We've just kind of been cruising along at our own pace, just doing what way we can, because we're both busy men. And yeah, guys, if you're out there, just keep on keeping on and never don't not give up, because giving up is the end of the actual internal, because you can't focus on the internal pain, or the external things will start becoming a conflict of interest with all the people across the ocean, the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian Ocean. All these things have got a thing, and it will add up eventually. And if you can't actually add up mathematician, don't know the numbers to work out the spelling correctly for the geography of World War II in 1945, where Hitler killed himself. There's no proof that he actually did kill himself. The autopsy revealed it was a woman's body, but there's rumours that he fled the scene and went to Argentina, where he so long lived the rest of his days and died, married an Argentinian woman. I don't know that for a fact, but anyways, guys.
You know what's up? That was the best one yet.
Just completely just change the subject every 3 seconds.
That was good. That was real good.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and niggas trying to take my life away.
Alright, this concludes episode 6 of Tattoo Talks with your boy Kamikaze. Right here, filmed today on the Gold Coast, Phresh Inc. with Jackson O'Doherty, Australia's Aussie larrikin. Thanks again, bro. I appreciate you coming through. It's been real.
The best day of my life so far.
The whole best day.
The best. Way better.
Better than anything.
Better than the day we're married. On that.